He thought he was getting away with it. Every single time I left the house, he'd sneak into my backyard and steal from me. So I did something about it. And let's just say, the next time he used my gas, it didn't just ruin his day, it destroyed his car. If you've ever dealt with someone who thought they were smarter than everyone else, this story is going to hit different. Hit like, subscribe, and stick around, because this is one of those rare moments where karma doesn't just knock. It kicks the door in. I'm not the kind of person who jumps to conclusions. Actually, I usually assume I'm wrong before I assume someone else is messing with me. But something felt off. It started small. Just a weird, nagging thought in the back of my mind. Every time I went to mow the lawn, I had this standard 5-gallon gas sitting in my backyard. Nothing fancy. Just something I used to refill my lawnmower. Now here's the thing. My mower tank, it barely held a quart. So, logically, that gas should have lasted me a long time. But it didn't. Every time I picked it up, it felt lighter than it should have. Every time I opened it, I'd think, didn't I just fill this? At first, I blamed myself. Maybe I was using more than I thought. Maybe I forgot. Maybe I was just being careless. But after the 4th, 5th, 6th time, that feeling changed. It wasn't confusion anymore. It was suspicion. And suspicion has a way of growing. It started turning into this quiet frustration that followed me around, like someone was taking advantage of me, and I didn't even know who. And that's what made it worse, because it meant one thing. Whoever was doing this felt comfortable, too comfortable. This was before security cameras were everywhere. No Ring doorbells, no cheap Wi-Fi cams. So if I wanted proof, I had to get creative. I dug out an old laptop, set it up facing my backyard window, installed some basic motion detection software. Nothing high-tech, but enough. Then I left, and honestly, I didn't expect much. Part of me still thought I was overthinking everything. But 5 minutes later, 5 minutes, that motion alert triggered. When I got home and checked the footage, there he was, my neighbor, casually walking into my backyard like he owned the place. No hesitation, no looking around nervously, just straight to the gas can. He picked it up, opened it, poured it into a container he brought with him, then calmly placed it back like nothing happened, and walked away. I remember just sitting there, staring at the screen, not even angry at first, just stunned, because it wasn't just theft. It was the arrogance of it, the entitlement. Like my property meant nothing, like I was just an easy target. And that's when the anger hit, not explosive, not loud, cold, calculated. The kind of anger that doesn't make you yell, it makes you plan. I could have confronted him, knocked on his door, shown him the footage, called him out, but I didn't, because something told me that wouldn't be enough. Guys like him don't stop because they get caught. They stop when it costs them. So I decided if he wanted my gas so badly, I'd give him something he'd never forget. For the next week, every time I went to the bathroom, I didn't use the toilet. I used the gas can. It sounds ridiculous. It sounds petty. But at the time, it felt like justice slowly building. Day by day, that can fill up. And here's the best part. Gas is a strong smell. Strong enough to mask other things. So unless you were paying attention, you wouldn't notice anything wrong. And I knew he wouldn't, because he hadn't been careful so far. Why would he start now? Then came the final piece of the plan. I made sure he saw me packing, bags going into the car, checking fluids, acting like I was preparing for a trip, even made some noise about being gone for a while. I wanted him relaxed, confident. I wanted him to think, this is my chance. Then I left, but not really. I drove around for about an hour, then came back quietly. And what I saw was better than anything I imagined. He was in his front yard, furiously pulling the cord on his lawnmower, over and over and over again. His face was red, veins popping out his neck. Come on, you piece of... Pull. Nothing. Pull again. Still nothing. I had to bite my lip to keep from laughing, because I knew exactly what was happening. That mower wasn't starting. It couldn't, because it wasn't running on gas anymore. He kept trying, desperation turning into rage. Then finally, he gave up, stormed inside, and a few minutes later, he came back out, got into his car, and drove off. I almost felt bad. Almost, because about 2 blocks down the road, that car died, just stopped, right there, and I knew why. Because my gas can was empty when I checked it. He didn't just take a little. He took all of it, every last drop, and poured it straight into his own engine. I didn't need to see it to know what happened next. That engine was done, completely ruined. And for the first time since this whole thing started, I felt it, that quiet, satisfying calm. Not revenge fueled by rage, but justice that felt balanced. But here's where it gets even better. Because this guy, he wasn't just a thief. Turns out, he had outstanding warrants. Yeah, real piece of work. So I decided, why stop now? I signed him up for a sheriff's ride-along program in his name, and when they came looking for him, well, let's just say they didn't leave empty-handed. Some people think they can take advantage of others forever, that there are no consequences. But sometimes, karma doesn't need to rush. It just needs the right moment. If you enjoyed this story, hit like and subscribe for more real-life revenge that hits hard. And tell me in the comments, what's the most satisfying karma you've ever seen?